All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're going to strip away all the flashy marketing hype and forensically examine a digital product bundle known as the Motivation Momentum System. If you're a digital creator, a coach, or an online marketer, you have probably seen these massive content bundles advertised everywhere. They always promise a complete business in a box for literally pennies on the dollar, and they're usually slapped right next to pictures of people laughing at their laptops on a tropical beach. So today we are going to look under the hood of this specific offer, examine its bold claims, and figure out if it actually delivers on its promises.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the Motivation Momentum System itself. Second, the creator's track record and saturation. Third, uncovering the real costs. Fourth, navigating licenses and refunds. Fifth, how to actually use it. And finally, number 6, the final verdict.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Motivation Momentum System. What's actually inside this thing?
This really captures that overwhelming fire sale vibe of the offer. What we're dealing with here is a massive private label rights, or PLR package. It's heavily aimed at coaches and creators who desperately want ready-made content to sell or to use as a lead generation tool, but they just don't want to write it all from scratch. The core topic here is building steady drive and lasting consistency, which is a highly demanded, evergreen self-help topic that thankfully avoids the typical just push harder hustle culture hype.
Now, the sales page promises a staggering amount of value across 11 different modules. You aren't just getting some basic, flimsy ebook here. You're getting 10 written lessons, matching video and audio modules, presentation slide decks, and literally all the marketing collateral you need to sell it. We're talking sales letters, lead capture pages, and even email swipes. The vendor is basically aiming to hand you a complete tripwire funnel. If you're not familiar, a tripwire is a high-value, low-cost entry product designed to turn cold traffic into paying customers. The whole idea is that you can instantly brand this massive asset collection as your own and just plug it right into your business.
Moving right along to Section 2, creator track record and saturation, the machine behind the product.
Get this, PLR Experts releases a new, near-identical title every 2 to 3 days. It totally proves they have a well-oiled production machine run by established vendors Jonathan Tang and Charles Harper. These guys are definitely not a fly-by-night company. They have a repeatable, functioning production process. But releasing a brand new self-help PLR title every couple of days, that raises a massive red flag that we absolutely need to talk about.
Because they pump out this self-help PLR so frequently and sell it to literally anyone willing to buy it, you really have to ask yourself about the very real risk of market saturation. If dozens or even hundreds of other digital marketers buy this exact same motivation momentum system and publish the identical content, well, your unique product suddenly isn't very unique at all, is it? It's a genuine saturation problem for an already crowded niche like personal development.
Which brings us to Section 3, uncovering the real costs, or the reality of the funnel. If you jump in early, the front-end entry price is incredibly low. It's just $13.33. This is what's known in the industry as a dime sale introductory rate. For a complete 10-lesson multimedia coaching kit, this looks like an absolute steal, right? It's perfectly designed to be an easy, instant yes for buyers.
But hold on, because here's how this actually builds. When you hit the checkout, you don't just pay your $13 and walk away. You're immediately faced with a deep sales funnel containing 8 different one-time offers, or OTOs. This includes asset enhancers and an entirely different cross-sell product line called the Confidence Comeback Blueprint. If you say yes to every single upgrade, bump, and inline offer presented to you, that $13 impulse buy morphs into a potential $211 investment. You just need to budget accordingly and know exactly what you're walking into.
Now that we know the real price tag, let's jump to Section 4, navigating licenses and refunds. The fine print.
You get this very shiny private label rights certificate proudly displayed on the sales page. It looks fantastic, and it definitely implies total ownership. But in the PLR space, assuming you can just do whatever you want with the downloaded content is a super dangerous game that can easily get your access permanently revoked.
Let's clearly break down the strict boundaries of this specific license. On one hand, you can totally rebrand, edit, and sell the finished flattened PDFs and MP4 videos directly to your audience. You can bundle them up or use them as lead magnets. That's all great. However, what you absolutely cannot do is sell or give away the editable source files, like the original Word docs or Photoshop files. And most importantly, you cannot sell master resale rights. That means you cannot pass the right to rebrand and resell the product onto your own customers. You are selling the final educational product here, not the business opportunity itself. Furthermore, you really must know their refund policy. The terms clearly state that all sales are considered final, with absolutely no refunds for this PLR package. Because digital files are delivered instantly and obviously cannot be returned, the vendor is just protecting their assets. But for you, it means you are taking on all the financial risk the exact second you hit that purchase button. There is no safety net here if you suddenly decide the content doesn't fit your brand.
Okay, so let's say you bought it. Now what? Let's hit Section 5, how to actually use it, moving from purchase to publish.
This 5-step workflow is absolutely essential for success with any PLR. You download it, read it thoroughly, rebrand it, format it, and finally publish it. But listen up, because the absolute most critical step here is number 3, rebranding and editing. If you recall our earlier chat about market saturation, this is your shield. If you skip heavily editing this material to inject your own personal stories, your own examples, and your brand's unique voice, your audience will spot that generic tone from a mile away. Even worse, search engines will flag it as duplicate content and bury it completely. You have to remember, PLR is just a foundation. It is not a finished house.
Finally, we've arrived at Section 6, the final verdict, pros, cons, and our final takeaways.
On the positive side of things, you are getting an exceptionally low entry price that truly can save you weeks of outlining, writing, and producing content completely from scratch. It's a massive shortcut provided by an established vendor, no doubt about it. But on the negative side, you have to navigate a very deep, potentially expensive upsell funnel. You have to eat a strict no-refund policy, and you must commit to putting in serious sweat equity and editing time to avoid the very real risk of market saturation.
So ultimately, it all comes down to answering one defining question. Does a $13 head start truly accelerate your business, or will the heavy editing required actually cost you more time than just starting from scratch? Only you know the true hourly rate of your time, but hey, now you have exactly the information you need to make that call. Thanks so much.